Opinion. A view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. Why did I tell you that? 'Cause that's all this video is. My opinion. Also, if you haven't noticed, this is also a voice reveal vid. Yeah, I know. My AI voice impression is spot on. As someone who has officially beaten Angry Birds Epic, I consider myself to have enough knowledge to do a sensible class ranking. Last and certainly the least, Frost Savage. There is not a single level in which you need him. His abilities are nothing special either. The freeze effect is not reliable, and what's the point if it can get dispelled by snow pigs? Don't get me started on the price. Easy F. Avenger. The class worth 490 stars. To be honest, even if it was one snoutling, it would not be worth it. It's unbalanced in the worst way possible. The only level where using it might make the smallest of sense is Alpha Pig. Another F. The only class in E tier is Witch. The purpose of Matilda is healing, but with this class in battle, you'll always need a secondary healer. The attack weakens pigs, but I feel like it's not good enough to be much help. The most forgettable class in the game. Stone Guard has what is possibly the worst defense. What is even the point of weakening after getting hit? The attack is decent but relies on other factors to be powerful. Literally the weakest class there is. You need some very strong classes with Lightning Bird to beat a level. The dispel capability, however, is a big plus and can get you out of some tricky situations. I was never really a fan of Thunderbird. It's not really unique. Its attack has a similar effect as Skulker's and its defense is a variant of Mage. Honestly, even though it affects all birds, I still prefer the higher reflection of Mage. It's not a highly used class. Hence, it's a D tier. The healing of Bard is trash. If your health is critically low, you'll need to wait a couple of turns to get a good amount of health back. Thankfully, the stun chance along with decent damage saves this class from being lower. D tier. Shock Shield can be very helpful, and can be combined with Cupcake Trap for huge deflections. But I think the attack of Mage isn't really strong and there are other Chuck classes you are better off with. I think this is the most interesting class in the game. The idea that red heals the most hurt bird is great, but unfortunately the defense ability is just garbage, and won't be effective in most battles. But in levels where you just want to attack, Paladin clutches up as it heals simultaneously. Unfortunately, there aren't many levels which require this. Pirate is probably the most boring class. Don't get me wrong, a 25% attack buff is awesome, but I would still prefer Tricksters or Capnova Pirate. A good class, but not very useful, which is the criteria of this list. This class is amazing when it comes to damage. When paired with Spies and Berserker, huge amounts of pigs can be terminated. Yes, Energize is rubbish. But you don't really need to use it, because the attack is so good. This class shows its true potential when you unlock the Golden Chili. Berserker is just a cool class with great damage. The secondary ability is debatable, but we all can agree it's fun to use. It's only a burden when the pigs have a reflection effect, as you are forced to attack. Don't get fooled by the fact that this is the first class you get, as it holds up pretty well for the whole game. The amazing defense combined with the target red effect is a great combo. Spies is better than some of Chuck's classes. The healing is very underrated and can be used to your advantage in countless levels if paired with the right classes. Now we move on to the better classes. Starting off with Princess. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't a big fan of this class until I realized its potential. It can be used to control attacks. You can't say anything bad about a class which has insane healing and removes harmful effects. If you love to be aggressive, then Sea Dog is the class for you. The base damage is nice, but there was no reason to add the damage decreasing gimmick. There's a possibility you'll end up with Sea Dog dealing less than 10 damage. Counterattack is what makes this class. The multiple attacks are key against ninjas. It can be used in so many setups due to the counter ability. Lowering the pig's attack power is a cherry on top. Only 25% defense, but for 4 turns. Because it also decreases attack power by 25%, it technically means we get a 50% defense boost. You're basically getting a permanent defense boost for the whole battle. Alright, let me explain. So, if you think about it for a second, it's actually pretty good. If you combine it with Priestess and Marksman, you could get loads of health back due to the double attack. It can also give another attack to treasure hunters to try and reset a charge or to Bard to try and stun again. Unlike Lightning Bird, you can actually kind of control who you want to attack. I am aware of the fact that it can soft lock your game, but, well, mildest my choice. Cleric is not just a healer. The shield can actually be your main source of defense. It heals when attacking as well, which is pretty handy. Although sometimes the healing just isn't enough. Is it just me? Or does everyone not feel confident about using Skulkers, even though we agree it's pretty good? Trixie Trick can be exploited to great extent and the effect of weak spot is obviously good. Rogues is a great class, especially when it comes to bosses, and there's no denying that. People think it isn't strong enough, but Goo actually does tons of damage. Settings Pig's focus is already wonderful, but reflecting damage as well. Now that's epic. The most controversial class in the game. My opinion, however, is clear. It's a part of the game, and you should not feel guilty using it against bosses. Why isn't it higher? Because it's only good for bosses. It sucks in normal levels. But bosses are a huge part of the game. Can't forget the insane damage it deals. Also, how can you not love Untouchable? The best bomb class. 60% attack boost. It's basically pirate but overpowered. If that wasn't enough, it also dispels helpful effects. It's a complete package. Although I wish it was available a bit earlier than it currently is. When we unlock this class, it feels like all of our problems disappear. It can be used in almost every level after you unlock it, especially against Wizpig. Unfortunately, it loses its charm in the caves, as I don't recall using it in them. Damage? Check. Healing? Double check. This class has the most dependable and reliable healing in the game. You unlock this class at a time when you don't have mastery. So the high healing really helps overcome tough encounters. I don't think Marksman in A tier is a surprise. The damage you can deal because of volley is just outstanding. As far as ambush is concerned, it's basically a way to give more attacks to Jim, Jay and Jake. It makes Priestess, Samurai and Cannoneer insanely strong. Only 2,000 snoutlings for this? I'll take it any day of the week. This is the ultimate healer. You can heal like crazy with this. And the best part is that once the effect is applied, other birds can heal themselves as well. I know it struggles against pirates, but in that case almost every class struggles against pirates. I don't think there is a single person who thinks that Rainbird isn't an S tier. Yes, the attack is low, but that's not what this class is for. Firstly, healing. which is always a plus. But also the cleansing effect. This class shows its true potential in the caves, being helpful throughout them. Combine it with Priestess and you get infinite healing. People say that Samurai is not as good as it's portrayed to be. But believe me, it's the most used class in a playthrough, there's no way it isn't. Tremendous damage, fantastic defense, what more could you possibly want? And there we go. All 30 classes ranked. This is what it looks like. Feel free to share your changes in the comments. With that, this channel is officially 2 years old. Thank you so much for the support. But the journey has only begun.